Suplifters. Today I want to give you parenting advice, which is pretty fun because I'm pretty far off having a child. However, I have been a child, and we all have. And I've been lately I've been thinking about this thing for a while, which is basically, in my opinion, a mistake that my parents kind of made with me. But I fixed it by myself later on, because remember that while parents can make a mistake, especially if you're the first child, because remember that that is their first time parenting, it is your duty to actually fix the mistakes that they did with you, okay? So don't really hold any grudge towards them. Most likely they did their best. Of course there are exceptions, but if you are an exception, trust me, you know it. Okay, so what is the mistake that they made with me? They never taught me the value of competition with others, okay? When I went and I was a kid and I said, yeah, I want to play football because everybody in Italy plays football. They said, yeah, please, yeah, it's fine, it's good to actually do a sport, and I agree with that. So I went there, but, I wasn't talented, far from it. I don't really think that I have any really big talents, like physically, I believe, I'm not sure, I don't know. Maybe I am. I'm putting on quite some muscles, in my opinion, in a relatively short amount of time, but I don't know. You're gonna tell me maybe one day. Anyway, I went there and I had no talents, and a lot of kids were better than me. They had more cardio, they were able to run faster, they were able to run better, they were able to pass the ball more correctly, they didn't panic when they had the ball, and all of this stuff, okay? So, one thing that kind of really resonated with me when I was a kid is my father that told me, do you see that all of these other parents of these children are basically thinking that their parents are gonna be the next Messi, the next Ronaldo, and they are cheering for them and they are telling them that they're gonna be the best. They are telling to the trainers that they don't understand anything, that their kids should be the one that is playing, and so on. And I agree that it is pretty dumb to give such big expectations to a child, because there is a lot of weight that they need to bear. And until there, I agree with my father, but after that, he said, you should go there just to have fun. And that is where the problem begins. Because if you are basically bringing a kid to basically do a sport, and you are telling them just go there and have fun, they are not gonna learn anything from the sport. Whether it is improving at the sport, and whether it is learning, like, if you will, the discipline of the sport, okay? Okay, this should be better. So I was saying that your kid is not gonna learn anything because he's not going there to actually be on the main team. Okay, he's not going there to kind of earn his position, because only 11 players are the starting ones, okay, the best one, the better ones, if you will. The others are just staying there, watching them play, and then, I really hate this thing about Italian soccer or football. I'm talking about football, the one that you play with the round ball, okay, so I'm gonna be calling it football. I hate this thing that basically they make 11 kids play, okay? And then during the second half, they kind of swap them around and they give like 5 minutes to the kids who were on the bench, just to tell them, yeah, you can go, you can play, it's perfectly fine, you're doing good. That is disgusting, in my opinion, because number one, it's a humiliation, okay? And also it's showing them that even if they put no effort, they are able to play. Because every single kid on the bench was gonna play. And I was the one who didn't put any effort in, because my father told me that I would basically never be somebody, so why try? Which is a terrible mentality, which is what I got from his, basically, I don't want to call it speech, but from what he told me. I got that I would never be anything, never be anybody, so why put in the effort? That is extremely toxic, of course. But with me, there were also other kids who, some of them were like me in the sense that they didn't really care, but others actually tried their best. So them who tried their best but weren't good enough to be playing were put on the same playing field as me, who didn't care. And it's terrible for them as well. So why did I say that my father pretty much gave me this mentality that if you're not gonna be anybody, you shouldn't even try? Because that is what I got from his message. He told me, look at these guys, they are not gonna be the next Messi or their next Ronaldo, and look at their parents. However, I don't care about the parents when I'm a kid. I think about the children, but I think about the kids. So what he said is that they are not gonna be Messi or Ronaldo. So I thought, then why should I try if they, who are better than me right now, are not gonna be anybody? Why do I even need to try? What he should have said, in my opinion, is you should fight with the fight, quote unquote. You should do your best in order to be on the main team. And that is enough. That is enough. You should do your best to be on the main team and keep improving. And that would have changed pretty much everything. Because that would have given you, or given the child in theory, a growth mentality. And also it would have probably shown him, if he actually did it for some time, that he would actually have gotten better, and I would have gotten that with hard work comes a good consequence, okay? So all of the effort that I put in today are my muscles, the effort that I put yesterday and the last months are the muscles that I have now. In the same way with football, all of the practice that I put in before have now become all of my skill with the ball. And that is a very bad mentality that children can have, because that ends up basically translating in me not putting any effort in anything. And there is a mix of things, because I feel like that at one point I kind of realized that either my father said the wrong words or I understood badly his message, and I can give him the benefit of the doubt, saying that he was criticizing the parents. He wasn't really trying to put the kids down, which is what I kind of understood. So he wasn't saying that, yeah, they shouldn't even try because they're not gonna be Messi or Ronaldo. He was saying that the parents are being obnoxious over something so useless, basically. So these were the two options. But at one point, I don't know if it's because I actually put some effort into something or anything, I don't really remember. But I feel like that I kind of understood the fallacy of what I'd gotten from my father, and I actually understood that hard work actually gives results. And that might have been because I noticed maybe a friend of mine who is very good at another sport, which I don't really... Rowing, I think it's called rowing. He was very good at rowing. He's a dear friend of mine. He was very good at rowing. He won the Italian nationals in his weight category at a certain moment. He almost went to the Olympics, although for a reason or another he didn't really manage to get there, he didn't qualify. But he was at very, very high level. And that kind of contradicted what my father told me, because he said that, I mean, here in this small city there will be no kid that will be somebody one day. However, this friend of mine was actually the best in Italy at this thing, and that kind of contradicted it. So I kind of thought about it and I rationalized it in another way. I thought, well, since this friend of mine actually didn't go to the Olympics and didn't won everything, I felt like, why put in so much effort just to get second? So I was basically being afraid of getting hurt, okay? I was afraid of putting in effort because I was scared that I would still come in last, okay? And that was the same for the tests. I mean, why do I need to study and spend so much time, then I get the result, and the result is just either mediocre or just slightly decent? Why do I need to put in all of the effort, okay? And I'm gonna tell you right now why this was so stupid. And so what I thought was like, I'm just gonna cruise by, I'm not really gonna spend any effort, I'm just gonna study late at night, give a read at the book, and whatever comes, because I can just say, well, I didn't really put any effort. If I actually did, I would have gotten a nice grade. If I took a nice grade, however, I would be able to say, look at me, I'm so smart, I didn't study and I still got a good grade. However, that is dumb, because, I mean, if I didn't really put any effort and I didn't even pass the test, if I put in some effort and I studied, I would have definitely passed it. Because it's not like, I mean, the votes were from 1 to 10 here in Italy, okay? But in reality, what happens is that they are from 3 if you're really doing something terrible to like 8.5 which is stupid, moronic, and idiotic. It's stupid, just stupid. It's from 1 to 10, just use them from 0 to 10 actually. Use all of the scale, don't just cut it down, because they need to actually have, the right, they need to actually, put in all of the numbers, then divide by the amount of grades that they took to put you a grade. But that is also stupid, because I feel like that actually, not university, but like high school in general, they should actually really give you something for effort. But I don't really want to critique the Italian school system. That is not my problem right now. What I'm talking about is the mentality. So I rationalize it, as I was saying, with if I put in effort and I fail, I'm gonna be extremely sad and disappointed. If I put in a lot of effort and I did it, well, nice. But why did I just say nice in this option? Because I've never done it. I never felt what it was like to actually overcome an obstacle, of actually putting in the effort and getting a good grade. However, if I didn't study and I passed the test with high results, I could say I'm so good. If I didn't, I could say, well, I didn't study. So that was my fallacy loop. And moving on, I don't really know if that was the moment where I realized it, but as I said in another video, I played volleyball for like 6 months, and of course, I wasn't on the main team, but I was putting in the effort this time because I wanted to get better at volleyball. And the best player on the team played the same position as me, which was the setter. So of course I wasn't gonna surpass him. However, I put in enough effort for the coach to actually put me in. And what he said after we lost at the end, we were all basically encircled. He was basically talking about how we played, what we can fix, our mistakes, and so on. He basically said that I did too many underhand passages instead of actually setting the ball. However, he said that I played better than I thought. So he critiqued me and then said that I played better than what he thought. I said thank you, and I remember that I basically did this gesture. I said thank you, and I kind of brought my head down. And I remember that everybody started laughing because they thought that my telling him thank you was a joke. I was trying to basically mock him since he critiqued me. But I was so sincere and I was so happy for his words, and he understood it because it's not like he told me anything after. Also because I wasn't laughing. I mean, the scene was, it was really out of an anime, it was pretty fun, actually out of a movie, call it however you will. They were all in the circle, and I said that thing. I was staying down there. I was pretty happy. I wasn't laughing, I was with a, I don't want to say neutral expression, I think. The coach was over there, I couldn't really see his face, and everybody around me was laughing, besides the other setter, which, by the way, was also the most mature person out of the bunch, and he's an amazing guy. And that something kind of, something clicked in me, and also didn't, because that was in my 4th year of high school, and I still didn't really put any effort, because, I don't know, maybe it's because, I know why, I can think of why. I didn't really do it because it took effort, okay? So I understood the joy of getting through this path, which I talked about before, which is putting the effort and getting rewarded, but it's hard. And one thing is playing volleyball, which is extremely fun, or even practice, I liked it, it was fun for me. The other thing was actually studying, and that is why I was miserable, and I have been miserable for 2 more years, until I actually understood that actually I should put in effort to stuff. So, tell your kids to compete with others, tell them to get in the main team, tell them to get as good as possible, but don't tell them, yeah, keep doing it like this and you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that, because most likely that is not gonna happen. However, if they put in effort, they are definitely gonna grow, they're gonna develop as people, and they're gonna be better members of society. That is it for this video, see you guys in the next one.